Check, 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 check. Mic looks okay. Going to be doing some dev today. I'm working on a faster title screen loading system, which is very much needed because right now, I'll show you in a sec, I am running basically my entire forest system. I'm running my entire forest system through the start screen, which is not ideal. So basically when the start screen loads right now, the game it spins. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's at least 5 seconds. On a faster computer, it might be 10. And let's go embedded here. So yeah, this is too slow. I've been working on making the game faster to close, some little quality of life things. Basically, I have some streamers playing the game now, or content creators, so I want to make sure it's not annoying. And right now there are a couple of things that are annoying, let's say. We don't need this on ultra. That's probably just slowing me down even more right now. Let's put this on high. So what I'm trying to do is every single instance that there's a rendering server call, I'm supposed to be adding this add rendering server instance to this. Basically, it's just supposed to add this to a dictionary. And there's something wrong with my code, so I really need to kind of read through this now. So we're going to grab the mesh resource path. And then I'm making this map because ultimately what I want to do is it's going to be an array of preloaded mesh. So mesh1.res, preload mesh2.res, blah, blah, blah. So it's actually fast. And those meshes are just in memory when the game loads. But right now I'm getting a weird thing happen where every time I add an instance, let's just drop a debug here. My mesh array, my mesh map is totally null. So something weird is happening. I don't know what exactly, so I kind of need to step through and see what's happening. So let's look at some locals. RP is, okay, that's the correct path. Mesh count is now at 1. Mesh. So yeah, here's my map. So basically I'm trying to map each one of these res mesh files to an index. So I should be able to just look that up. Okay, so then we create the array. So data is a dictionary of keys with arrays. And then it just adds to it. So this part is fine. I don't really know what the problem is here. We can see there's an array here. I guess the structure is a bit confusing. It's a dictionary at the top level, then an array for each key, and then inside the array is an array of dictionaries. But I want to serialize all this at the end of the day. I mean, if Godot had structs, this would be obviously a lot easier. But something weird is somehow my data array is getting wiped. And that is what is bugging me today. So it's fine as I'm iterating on it. But maybe my problem is when I'm trying to access it. Let's see. So in theory, when this happens here, let's say forest start. I mean, at this point, There's no multi-threading or anything here on the title screen either. The way this works is that as soon as the title screen loads, it's just it goes. Maybe data is some weird protected. Let's try that. Let's call it data 2. I'm going to save RSI. We're going to change that. I think there might be something like stomping the game.rsi. Yeah. So this one is a pain right now. And then even here, the load data, I'm specifying when we call that, so that doesn't even use that. Okay. Let's try it again. Maybe you just can't use the data field. No, that's crazy. So the dictionary is null. Oh my gosh. What is happening here? So why would that dictionary be null? I mean, this is populated, so does it get into some kind of circular reference or something? I mean, this is a pattern I've used a bunch of times, so just trying to figure out what the heck I could be doing wrong here. Vector 4. I almost want to catch the last instance of this. How do I do that? The very last time this is called. I might just do this. Try to find out what is happening here. Okay, it's printed 31,640 times. All right, so let's do 31640. This one is stumping me today, and it's frustrating because it's just something simple I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to cache the initial forest. Oh yeah, look at that. It's null. So is it too large? What is Godot? Godot max array size? Shouldn't be a problem. I just don't know what I'm doing that's causing this data array to be null. This doesn't make sense. Data 2 is null right now. Let's step it back. Let's go back to 11,640. I'm obviously doing something. There's something wrong here. I can't tell what it is currently. Yeah, the data is null at this point. So let's go back to 100. The first few are fine, but at some point the data totally gets nulled, which is bizarre. Okay, this is fine. A dictionary of size 9. We've got a mesh map of 9. Okay. So what the heck happens? Let's go up to 500. Oh. Doesn't recompile that. I'm so lost at why this is happening. Hello, how's it going? Oh, let's try this a different way. Let's try a different tack. If data2 equals null, we're gonna debug right here. Why is this becoming null? This is so... It's such a hang up because this is not what I wanted to be working on today, and it's just totally taking me out here. It's never null. That's so weird. That is so weird. So, oh, I don't want to print that. Okay. Let's take that back. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's fine. Maybe it just can't display all that info in the editor. No, I feel like that's not right. But we should try it. So if we do game.rsi.save RSI, see what happens. I'm expecting the save file to just pop in here because I'm just using the user save system right now to try to get this data. What? It's still print. Oh, it's printing this. Oh, okay. Holy crap, that's huge. 7 megabytes. All right, that's crazy. Okay, so I guess this just can't represent that much information. That's all. All right, that's fine. So let's try now. We're gonna cut this and move this to my project folder. Bushcraft. Scene start. We'll put this in start forest. So let's see if this is any faster. What we'll do is we'll go to forest here, and I'm just gonna kill the forest loading stuff. I'm gonna call this ready old. So that's not gonna call. We have a new ready. And start forest.res. So that's gonna load that. It's an unrecognized binary file. But it is, oh, I need to, yeah, so what I need to do, that's not really what I need to do. I need to use rendering server instance. We're gonna do, oh, I forgot to print my keys. Oops, I guess we'll run this again. Oh, I still have them here, okay. So, let's do a little regex or find replace here. What I want is every, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do every bracket gets replaced with bracket preload. Okay, and then every close gets replaced with close. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Let's do replace. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna call this meshes, I guess. So array mesh equals oh, the rest of my preloads disappeared. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Maybe. I think I'm missing a closing brace or something. So this should map exactly to the indices that are in that file, if I have done this correctly. There's 16 of these, so. Oh yeah, just missing a close right there. Okay, so this is all of the meshes, and actually most of them are these plant meshes. Okay. That's fine. So what we'll do, oh yeah, I guess, is this going to be slow? Load data. Okay, it's going to be a dictionary. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll do this. For a start. Now this is going to cause an enormous memory leak, but that's fine. We're just testing for now. This is going to be a dictionary, and then we want to do game.rsi. I'm going to clean that up after. Load RSI and meshes. I need to give it the mesh array, yeah. Okay. Now, moment of truth. Will this work? I think I'm going to turn off this. So we're just going to return on this guy right now. And then this is probably not going to work. Be shocked if it does. Be shocked if it's any faster as well. Okay. Oh, wrong access. I'm supposed to be checking to see if it exists as well, but I mean, I'm not a big fan of checking things that are absolutely required to exist in your game. Like, the game won't run without it, so. Trying to assign value of type nil. Okay. What the heck am I doing wrong? Godot for serialize dictionary and save it. File access open, file access read, file get var. Interesting. Okay, so that didn't work at all. Let's take a look at my save. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I think I was supposed to use var to bytes. I can confirm store var and get var work with dictionaries. Okay. Interesting. Print file size, get size. I thought I could just serialize this like this. Actually, you know what? I have other serialization code in the game. Okay. That didn't work at all. Awesome. So let's take a look. Oh, okay, that stringifies it. I don't want that. X save X. Oh, let's find save. Okay, there's a lot of magic. X game save. Oh, var to bytes, store buffer. Is that what that does? Store var stores any variant in the file. If full objects is true, encoding is allowed and can potentially include code. This advances the file cursor. Internally, this uses the same encoding mechanism as var to bytes. Okay. Yeah, this is the proper way you're supposed to do serialization. You're supposed to use the property list setting the storage flag. Okay. So this does the same as var to bytes, and then presumably store buffer. And I mean, obviously my data is here. It's, oh. That's weird. I guess we're running this again. So let's go back to forest start. The serialization is being weird. Oh, because it overrode it, maybe? Start forest, 1 kilobyte, 12 bytes. That is not correct. Damn, okay. Oh, okay, maybe it's because this is returned right now. Let's try that again. I guess that's an empty dictionary size, 12 bytes. Okay, this is my 7 megabyte file. We try again. Interesting. Let's take a load data as null. Maybe .res file is not the right extension. Is that messing it up, maybe? It should be able to serialize and deserialize, but that is not happening right now. That value is null. Why is it null? Seven megabytes. Is this readable? This shouldn't be readable. It should be binary. Open anyways. Sure. Yeah, it's binary. That's a whole bunch of binary. Maybe I just need to do if file. Maybe if there's some weird like async nonsense happening. I'm getting a debug here, first of all. Let's make sure this path is right. Start forest. Yeah, that's fine. This is so weird. What is happening here? So I'm literally saving it right here. Store data, data 2. And then I load it here. Get var. Okay, let's keep going. Data is null, but that's fine. Okay, so this part, never mind, this part is okay. Load data. Is null. This is so confusing. How did we get a mesh then? Mesh ID is 0. It's like this dictionary is too large to display in the editor, and that's the problem. Is transform not a field? Transform is totally a field. Oh. Okay, that's a genuine bug. I messed up my data structure here. Okay, it's really throwing me. I think this file is too large to display in the editor. I think that's why it's not loading it. Let's look that up. Godot might have some documentation on that. Godot for largest variable size that can be shown in editor. No, I mean largest dictionary size? I think there's a limit of like 4 megabytes or something. Okay, I couldn't find anything easily. Let's try this. And hopefully it's faster. Oh, we're gonna have to benchmark it somehow. See, right now it's loading like every scene in the game, so oof. It's my own fault. I have scenes being loaded in auto loads. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Close, but no cigar yet. Oh, I bet it's because yeah, there's something in here I need to call. No. Oh yeah, I think the ranges are all messed up. This is going to be a hard problem. Load forest. It's going to load the tiles. It'll update everything. Set tile viz. Is that also here? Yeah, it is. Set tile viz, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's this bit of code here. So the visibility fades are messed up. Let's see. Let's see if I messed up somewhere else. Although, let's run a test. Is it actually faster? Does it load better? That's an important thing that I'm trying to establish here. Whether the visibility fade is correct or not. Oh, that's loads faster. The demo is going to take a sec to load. Okay. Now I'm going to have to do this. I think I can maybe ad hoc this. We can check the mesh index and then update it accordingly. Yeah, so 7 megabytes of data that loads in an instant. Boom. What I'm curious about how quickly it loads back into the main screen. Because this is always going to take a bit to load because it's all being generated in real time. But if we go back to main, that's pretty fast. And then quitting is fast. Okay. I want to tag them. I want to tag them with metadata, I think. But can I cheat? Billboard instance. Yeah, I can cheat by just checking what mesh it is. Multi-mesh instance is going to be... Let's see. We can cheat a little. Yeah, because here's my RSI load. And I can update this viz fade. Let's just do this. Let's copy this. So now we're not dependent on RSI. And in fact, this is probably better. Array mesh, or no, array RID. Yeah, if this works, it should be a lot faster. Should be a lot faster. What's their conflict here? Oh, there's a... Yeah, we don't need this anymore. You don't need that. Don't need that. All right, I'm going to be right back. Sorry, I'm on mute. I'm eating. Hello? How are you? I'm currently trying to do a preload cache or a cached loading system for my title screen because right now it's unnecessarily slow. So, billboards, what do we got? I think, what is this? This is double quad billboards, I think. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're going to try this. And then these guys are going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. 8, 11, or 12. This code is so weird. I shouldn't need to do this. I feel like something is wrong here. Something feels a little off about having to do this. Let's see if that fixes it. I saw your video on the rendering server compared to multi-mesh. It was quite informative. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it was. I'm clearly having some issues at the moment with my implementation. I basically have this. Let's see, can I drop a camera in here? Current. Oh, I want it to be a free look camera. Let's go. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to do a preload system for my title screen because I don't need to be running my full like forest rendering shenanigans on the title screen. But right now, I'm having a problem with some of the instances. Those visibility fades seem to be okay. So here it is. Yeah, the multi-mesh stuff is not rendering. I wonder why. Something to do with AABB, perhaps. Let's do... I feel like I should just skip custom AABBs. And see what happens. Oh man, I have a lot of extra cameras in the scene. Let me grab its current position. Copy. Paste. Yeah, something about the visibility fade here is messed up. Is this mono or GD? I don't know what you mean by mono. It is GD script. Do you mean C#? This is, yep, GD script. And I'm trying to get my force rendering system to work. These are all cached. So this is, these are cached mesh instances. So I mean, the logs are here, the log shadows are here, the billboards are here, the high fidelity meshes are not here. Why? What the hell is happening? Oh, I'm gonna remove this from the wrong place. Let's try from here. I'm wondering if my custom AABBs are getting in the way here, potentially. Oh, okay. Nope, we definitely need those. So there's something else that I'm not factoring in. So when we do load forest, we load the positions, we update all the tiles. It's something in here. I bet it's, yeah. Okay, it's this. Set visible true. I mean, they should all be visible. In the actual game, I use both. I'll show you what it looks like. Right now, like I said, I'm trying to use a cached system, but here's the dynamic forest system. And so this one also does camera culling, meaning it only is going to use the cameras frustum to generate the trees. But if we set this to current, you can see this a little better. Basically, in the far, far distance, there's big chunks of multi-meshes, and those multi-meshes are on the rendering server, right? So multi-mesh and rendering server are not mutually exclusive. I seem to have this conversation with people a lot, where people think you can't use multi-mesh on the rendering server. You can, it's very easy. If we look up multi-mesh set mesh, yeah, you can create a multi-mesh instance on rendering server. And this really works well when it's chunked, right? Whenever you have a big chunked system, multi-mesh is in the distance. As long as you're using the right alpha, they'll layer up properly. In my case, I'm using alpha scissor. But yeah, so I'm using all kinds of stuff. There's 3 LODs. There's dithered fading. I got rid of all alpha blending because it was killing performance on some laptops. And my goal is that this game can run on a potato. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown right now. Like what we're seeing here is that these are also multi-meshes actually, but they're rendering server multi-meshes where each branch is individually rendered. And the reason each branch needs to be rendered is that one of the core mechanics in Bushcraft is that you can interact with each branch. So it can't be like a combined tree mesh, which is why they look the way they do. I've tried to make them look better over the, course of dev, but so the problem with this right now is that it's a bit slow. And I'm debating whether it's worth it to do a cached version where all the rendering server instance data is cached. And maybe, what I've done here, maybe what I've screwed up is the way that I'm storing let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I've made my mistake here. It's probably in here. Oh yeah, this instance needs a visibility range as well. Yeah. Interesting. But to answer your question, I use the rendering server for all my trees and foliage stuff. I might put this on the back burner because I can't get I'm gonna have an issue getting the cache to generate properly. And let's get rid of this extra camera. I got too many cameras in this scene. And in fact, this is probably another one I was using to debug, so. I was just hoping to reduce the load time. Because now we got to spin, and then finally we get the forest. Yeah, it's this part here. So these multi-meshes are a part of a geometry instance that has visibility, a visibility range set. Yeah, I don't use the multi-mesh node. That's correct. Yeah, I don't have any multi-mesh nodes in the game, I don't think. I'm using multi-mesh through rendering server. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm cheating a little bit. They tell you can't do this, but you 100% can. If you properly use the rendering server on a separate thread and you don't have any of your resources crossing over to your main thread, you can have rendering server calls on a second thread. Now, Godot does not support this. They say you're not supposed to do it. But if you look at the C++ code, that rendering server singleton is pretty safe as long as the resources it touches are pretty solely accessed on that thread. I don't think there's going to be any problem. One of the problems I had was I was getting a memory leak, and for the longest time I thought it had to do with multi-threading, but it doesn't. It has to do with just RID freeing. So if you ever use RIDs, you have to be careful to free them properly. Otherwise, they'll never really disappear. And then when your game goes to close, Godot has, got, X thousands of RIDs that it needs to try to get rid of. But if we just run right now, one of the things I'm aiming for, a couple optimizations, I need the game to shut down immediately, just from a quality of life standpoint. And I wish the load screen didn't take that long to load. And maybe I'm being a little bit silly because it is still pretty fast. But I want it to just be like snappy, I could use a loading system as well. Like right now, there's a bit of a combination of loading things happening. If we hop into the demo, the thing I don't like, the demo is going to take a second to load. There's nothing that can change that. That is what it is. But what I would like to happen is, like right now, going back to the start screen, we're just spinning because we're reloading the forest. And quitting works instantly. We are leaking a texture, actually. I have no idea where this is coming from. So there's a texture leak, but for whatever reason, Godot is fine with a texture leak. If you leak a mesh or multi-mesh instance, it is not fine with that. It will just sit there and hang for 5 seconds trying to close. So I'm trying to figure the best way to cache this. And it sounds silly, but I'm realizing that one of the ways to do that would be to put my forest start onto an auto load. And then yeah, that could be interesting. Like a node that persists between scenes, but obviously I need to. No, it's sketchy because it's RIDs. You'd have to hide all the RIDs, and then it's a bit of a mess. Yeah. This is a bit of a hard problem to solve right now. Let me think. Is there any other way I can fix this? I can try this. Let's try this. Yeah, I shouldn't have any viz fade on no viz range on my multi-mesh branches. Because I have the multi-mesh for the chunks in the background, the LOD 0, LOD 2s. But I'm just not getting those branches. Why is that? Oh, I know why. I think I know why. I know why. Oh, okay. I screwed this up. Okay. Let's redo this. I think I know what happened. I think it's the transform on this guy. Yeah, so here, T2. Damn, yeah, okay. I need the global transform. Can you just multiply two transforms together? I don't think you can. I think this is not right here. This is supposed to be tree transform times T2. Okay, we're gonna redo this cache, and then I think it's gonna work. We just gotta put this here. I gotta regenerate the cache. So this is not that painful. I wish my solution were a little more elegant here, but tis the 11th hour, and I'm trying to get this optimization out just so the game is snappier. Because I think people see the graphics of the game, they're like, oh, it's like PS2 graphics. It should load instantly. And I agree, it should load instantly. But actually, there's a lot of, I think I finally crossed, there's over 100 models in the game now. Each one has a PBR texture set. They're all like less than 2,000 triangles. One thing I'm reasonably well optimized is the triangle count. Okay, let's do for start. Let's go back to here. We'll call this ready 2. We'll rename this back to ready. And we will save the data. So let's go start, RSI save, and one more change. Actually let our RSI code run. Okay, nothing exploded. I really hope that list is the same. Plant 4, plane, plant 1, plane. That would really suck if it was somehow not deterministic. Yeah, no, that's good. Single quad billboard is last. Okay, so Start Forest is now 7183. It's exactly the same because a transform is a transform. Okay. Now we do start. I don't think I need any of this code. I think this is a red herring. Yeah, I think this I think that's a red herring. This is also silly. I don't know if I'm actually saving a whole lot of time. Let's make sure. Okay, we need this ready in here, and we'll change this to ready 2. All right, can we feel it be any faster? It's after the load screen, which is annoying, but I don't know if it doesn't look the same to me. Why does it look so weird? Okay, let's go back and forth. I should do a screenshot of one and then the other. This may really not be worth it. Good thing I wasted all this time this morning. I'm just trying to cache this. Oh yeah, it's not the same. The foliage is... Are my transforms in the wrong order? Does anybody know? If you go, it should be parent times child, right? For your global transform. Maybe I do need this. Let's bring back this at least. I mean, sure. Maybe. I think I'm getting hung up on unimportant things. I'm now realizing. Yeah, this is not the same. Why is it not the same? Okay. All right, we're abandoning this. This was a cool idea. It is unnecessary. And we're gonna remove the RSI code because it's gonna slow the game down. Cool. All right, we test again. I'm going to export. Make sure everything is good and stable. I want to do a playtest, and then I'm going to be pushing this build because there's a couple cool things in here. There's volumetric fog. Oh, I wanted to be in front of this thing. Why is this thing? This should be... Boop. Now I'm in front. But I'm not in front of that. Webcam should be at the top. There we go. That's cool. All right. So we're giving up on caching the start screen. I wonder how hard our performance is getting hit now. I am running a lot on OBS here. Let's just play for a bit. And the game isn't really designed to go above 1080p, so there's no real point in rendering above 1080p. My laptop is absolutely hammered right now, so... Oh wait, that's not going to do anything, is it? We're in release mode. Let's pin this. Oh yeah, we're struggling. Let's turn off some stuff. Let's turn off bloom. Bloom gets you another 5 FPS. But actually, I'm less concerned about the actual frame rate right now. Oh, there was one more thing I want to test in the debug build, and that is memory. So memory leaking has been a problem that I accidentally reintroduced into the game. So I really need to get this patched, because in theory, if you play the game long enough, you will run out of memory, but that should be fixed now. So let's take a look. All right, so let's just keep an eye on the memory. It seems to be pretty stable. It's gonna dip and jump a little bit as we move around the map. But I'm not expecting more than like 500 megs for the tree system. This is the whole game, so I guess actually the CPU RAM, or the main RAM, is not too bad. All right, let's drive around a little. I actually love driving in this game now. More than I like shelter building. It's my new favorite pastime. If you like look at the map, you can kind of drive through the trees. You'll get stuck a little bit, but I should soften that up maybe. Maybe a touch. I think there's just the river on the other side of this, the lake. All right, memory seems stable. We should actually get out and fly around a bit, though. Oh. Interesting. Oh my god, you can just get a truck key. That's such a bug. Okay, you can just find a truck key in a cabin. You know what? I'm leaving it in. We're leaving that in. That's fine. So getting a truck is supposed to be like an event that you get on day 5. Someone's going to figure that out. That's pretty funny. All right, let's fly around in debug mode and make sure the memory is stable. I need to do that. Then I need to... I'm also curious how fast you can actually go. Like, how fast will the terrain system load? This is on medium. Let's crank it to ultra. Well, let's turn off volumetric fog so we can actually see what the hell we're looking at. That resolution is too low. And why not? Let's turn on bloom. We don't want to see the memory excessively go above like maybe 700 megs. Although it will be, in theory, it will be higher for the ultra forest loading system compared to some other stuff. I think it's pretty good. There's like something like 150,000 trees loaded here. I don't know if you can squeeze much more performance out of it. And I don't think we'll ever be able to go this fast. Only in the helicopter. So I need to... Oh, my laptop is a potato, pretty much. So I have been able to test this on an even crappier laptop. And to answer your question, my laptop has an i5 with a 3050 Ti laptop, but the 3050 Ti laptop is not not a very powerful GPU. I think there's only 4 gigs of VRAM. Well, let's take a look at our VRAM usage. Yeah, we're at 600 megs of VRAM usage. We've got 4,000 objects. We're at 300,000 primitives, which is really nothing, and 600 draw calls. So, I mean, all of our numbers are super in check. The one thing I was worried about was memory leaking, but I think that's finally resolved. So it doesn't matter how long you fly around. Let's just crank it. Let's just see if we go up to 60. Eventually, the terrain system is now single-threaded. So it should stop us. I have a little bit of tweaking to do on the lighting of the billboard system, and it's been a pain point, but the multi-mesh doesn't match the billboard system right now perfectly. So yeah, this runs really, really smooth when I'm not streaming. OBS is actually taking a ton of resources, and in fact, what I can do just for a second here, if I turn off my webcam, or I could just turn off background removal, and then we could pop maybe my webcam behind my display capture, do something like that. So we'll see, it runs a lot smoother now. I'm curious at what point it will actually stop you. I did move the collision generation to a single threaded system. So let's go to 100. Let's just go crazy. Eventually what should happen is that as the world is generated, oh look, it's an island. I don't think I've seen an island before. That's a new one. It's pretty much an island. It's only surrounded by ice. It's actually not stopping us, which is kind of cool. So it means everything is actually working quite nicely, and the fade out is pretty good. Considering how fast we're moving, everything's pretty well behaving. And I don't think, oh, there we go. So we finally caught up with the LOD system. You can see it there, eh? You can see the chunks come in. All right, so we're caught up to the edge. So let's actually, I am curious for my own knowledge, what is the fastest speed you can go without catching up to the LOD system? This is like, I would say this is low to medium hardware. On a PC that's been made in the last 10 years, this game should run like lightning. Laptops, I want the game to be playable on laptops, and big thing too, I want it to be playable on the Steam Deck. So for me, this game's got to be optimized. I don't want to look at it any other way. I know there's the whole thing about premature optimization. I'm not naive to that. My cliffs need some work. Sometimes the cliffs generate in place before the terrain does. Memory's been stable actually. So draw calls stable, memory is stable. Primitives pretty stable. We popped up to a 1.4 million at one point, but I think it's pretty good. Yeah, all right, that's enough of that test. I think I'm okay with that. Let's pop this back on. Boop. And we can move this up to the top. Oh, I need to get lunch soon. I'm getting hungry. All right, so that's good. Let's do memory is stable. Okay, so I'm happy about that. Memory is stable. Let's run it again from the release mode. I gotta make sure, the last time I pushed out a build, it broke something fundamental about the tree system. And I just I'm at a point where I cannot have that happen. That is not something that, there are people playing the game, I hate to say it, but important, just as important as gamers, but there's content creators playing the game now. So I can't have it be crappy. I could force tools and stuff when you're inside the truck, but I don't want to get into that right yet. So what we're going to do, I think I am going to run the tutorial. I'm going to take a bit of time here and just run through it. Actually, let me see, is my NVIDIA... I really like how the truck turned out, actually. It's definitely like a little sketchy and low poly, but I really like it. I think it's cool. Okay, maybe volumetric fog. No, we'll why not? We'll do it. Okay, so that works. That works. Chop down. Chopping down a tree kind of worked. Kind of. I'm gonna do that again. Let's, that is something real that could happen. Ooh, let's try this. Okay, so there should be code in the game now where if we chop down this tree and if the other tree falls on us and knocks us through the ground, the game should correct for that. I want to see that happen because that's a pain point. Sometimes if you get knocked into oblivion, oh, here we go. All right, I didn't do it that time. That's all right. Do I have to debranch both of these now? All right, whatever. Cool. All right. Cool. 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 Let's do these two. These look like good candidates. Oh, log cache. Oof. Did that work? Oh no, they're over here. Okay. I thought we lost a bunch of logs from the log cache. That would be unfortunate. Yeah, let's do this now. Yep. The game is a little bit jungle Jimmy. You can kind of walk on anything. There's no real limitations. Okay, so the trees in that chunk is getting replaced by trees with colliders with separate leaves. So all of the trees in that chunk is individual nodes. There's almost no nodes in this system. The only nodes in this system that are used is if I turn on visible collision safes, you could see it, but only in the trees in our vicinity. The game is generating some colliders. Everything else is rendering server for the foliage and the trees. So if you look at this scene right here, the only nodes at all are the character model that we're looking at, the log that we're holding. If you throw a log on the ground, that's a node. Like these are all node based. And the logs for the build stuff, that's all node based. But the trees, yeah, well the truck's a node as well. I should mention that. Should mention that. I think the truck looks cool. I'm happy with the truck. That was a retopologized photo scan. And eventually I want to have it so you can yeah, right now you can't throw logs in the truck because it's not registering the truck on the raycast, but I want to do that eventually where you can put stuff in the back of the truck. Currently that does not work, but that is on the roadmap. I've got more important things to get to though. I need to really work on hunting rifle next. Shooting mechanics, and I got some ideas how to work shooting mechanics into the existing game's mechanics. I think it would be interesting that you see this timer, that when you shoot, like aim down sight, you actually get a little timer, and it's kind of like I want to do like a breathing thing, and like depending on how nervous you are, the breathing is going to be slower or faster, and if your breathing is fast, then the gun is going to be a bit shaky. But if you can slow it down, if you can have that timer be slow, then you shoot more accurately. What the hell is happening out there? Somebody's beeping their horn outside. So I'm excited to get into the shooting and hunting mechanics. I think that's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to that. But today I need to do another full playtest. Ideally for a few hours even, just to make sure the game is good, runs consistently, runs without too much trouble. Content creators aren't going to have a big like game crash when they're building their shelter, that kind of stuff. So we're working on that kind of stuff today. All right, so we need some moss, so let's get some. That's kind of nice now. You can just hover over and you can see that it has moss. I do like that. We're just going to slap some on here. I don't really care if this is perfect this time. Not sweating this too much. Make sure we still have the truck key. We do. That's good. Next, we're going to get some firewood. All right. Everything seems pretty well behaved. No errors thrown. Good. We're gonna get a fire going. The tutorial got a little messed up here. I guess we could have just skipped this step. About the trees, is it still individual instances that has leaf meshes and collider, not multi-mesh, even though that is done through the rendering server? There are no colliders on the leaves themselves. The only collider is on the tree trunk, but all of the branches are 100% interactable, right? So each branch is an instance of a multi-mesh that's done through the rendering server. You know, I needed to take a really efficient approach because there are thousands of these things. And obviously through heavy LOD that makes that possible. I lost my way. I got turned around here a little bit. So this is my truck. Where's my, here it is. So yeah, that's kind of the, when you're in close proximity, yeah, there's the LOD 0 kicks in. You can see it. The game doesn't hide it too well. I'll show you in a sec. I'm going to try to work on the blending. I know that like Road to Vostok, for instance, did a lot better with their blending. I don't know what is going on with the tutorial. The tutorial's acting up. All right, well, that's why I got the skip step thing in there. So just in case it doesn't register. That should save people. Your camp is now set up. The final thing you need to get some rest, put some boughs down. I have full health, so we are just gonna sleep. Okay. That's all good. I actually haven't done this next part of the tutorial, so let's try it. Okay. So sharpen is good. Eating and drinking also done by holding tab. Drink. Where's my water? Oh. Okay, that's a little bug. Not a bug, but it's not a very good. It's done by holding wheel. Switch to your hands with tool 1 and drink. Okay. So that is a missing step there. People are going to get stuck on that. All right, you can access the map by pressing M. Yep. Click on the ski lodge. Recenter your position. Right click to continue. With your hands, open the truck door by holding left click. Then hop inside and start the engine by holding left click on the steering wheel. Press right click to continue. Drive to the ski lodge and head inside. AD to steer, WS for gas and brake. Map if you need to get your bearings, so let's do that. Ski lodge is, actually we are facing the correct direction for the ski lodge. We gotta drive through a lot of trees though. I think what I'm gonna do, the truck right now is too punishing for reducing speed. Yeah, this is too... this is too much right now, so let's do times 0.3. We're just going to bring that down a hair. I don't want it to be so punishing to drive the truck, you know? People need to... I want them to feel it, but I don't want it to really reduce the experience. Oh, we should go left. Cut through here. Yeah, that's too punishing, I think. We'll keep it nice and light. Recenter. Where's the ski lodge? Oh, we went way too far north. It's funny that after playing the tutorial so much, I am actually getting used to the lay of the land, which is really interesting. I didn't really expect that because there's not a lot of markers in the land. We're cruising. All right. Put that there. Put this in here. Do right click to continue. You can save your progress by signing the guest book. Let's sign it. Save. Done. Okay. Tutorial complete. When you press OK, Bushcraft is all about immersion outdoors and surviving off the land. For more guided lessons, check out the challenge board. If you are ready for a challenge, head over to the Trophy Moose Head to start a survival run. Please say yes to make it to day 5, and you'll get a gift from Joe. The early access release, blah, 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 blah. GD extension, yes, absolutely. One of the things I want to do, in fact, is transition the forest system to GD extension because that system is so heavy and there's so much looping in there. I think transition to C++ will give you a performance boost. I'm almost positive. The terrain system also maybe, but I doubt it. Okay, so we have the hand auger. Let's save. And one more bug I just realized. I want to save after we get the hand auger as well. Xsave, let's go to start. Oh no, not start. Yeah. Oh, this one's gonna be tough. You know what? Show new guide. What the heck is this? Queue save data. Oh. Interesting. Okay. I don't know why I can't find what I'm looking for here. New guide. Oh, okay. So this will actually show. No, it won't. Yeah, it's this. It's this. Okay. So X save tree. Yeah, we're gonna do both. Okay. Never mind. This is good. This is good. We save the game data. We save the tree. Okay, so that's good as is. No changes needed. All right. So the question is, what do we want to do next? We got a lot of stuff we could do. First thing I want to do is just quit the game. Make sure quitting, closing, all of that is... Oh, we got a leak. $10 mesh storage, 10 material storage. I hope it's not this new code I put in. Like, if we just have an array of meshes here, I think that's fine. Yeah, this in and of itself shouldn't cause. These are just resources. That's not a biggie. I think I actually might know. So if we just quit now, I bet it won't hang, but I have a feeling I know what the resource leak is there. Okay, we have this tinder here, and we switch to our hands. So it was removed, then it was added back. Oh, it is that. Oh, got it. I got it. Okay. So I think this is a good fix. This is a good fix. So with the tool system, I needed to free the scenes here. Now on the inventory system, there's gonna be something similar. Inventory item. Resource loader, blah, blah, blah. Bundle scene, packed scene, yes. Yes. Two things, two of these packed scenes. Okay, so let's free inventory. For inv item in inventory, if inv item bundle. Oh, where's my key hint? Oh, it's a dictionary. Values. This is the trouble you get into with instantiating scenes that don't always get added to the scene tree. This is the kind of shenanigans you can get yourself into. There's a reason I do that, is I don't want to be reinstantiating scenes over and over. If it's the same inventory item that I'm holding in my hands, I don't need to instantiate that 1,000 times. I just instantiate it once. But, of course, if that resource is never properly freed, then you're going to have a problem. Now, one thing I want to check, we'll check this out, but here we go. Yeah. Yeah, so this instantiates that packed scene. Interesting. So we'll see if that works. Because now there's a reference to the packed scene, I think. Okay, so we got Tinder. If we quit. Still get a leak. Bad one too. That one was not happy. Have made other games that you... Yeah, I got one other game I made on Steam. Yeah, so we're getting a nasty leak there. I think this one I need to fix in a different way. The other one is called A Beaver's Tale. It's just a fun little game about being a beaver. Remove clear bone attachment children. Yeah, so this is not going to work. I think we actually need to queue free. Let's try that. I tried to be clever with my scene instantiation. It did not pay off. That should be it. Inventory, tool system, those are the only two places where I'm instantiating something early. So let's try... We'll do this first. So that instantiates. Just slow. I think that was just a cleanup. I think that was just the cleanup step. Yeah, freeing a packed scene like that is unnecessary, I'm realizing. You only need to free the instantiated scene. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I definitely overcomplicated this system. But I think it's fixed now. Hopefully. Nice. Okay. I think it's good now. So we don't need this. Don't need that. I just want to test a couple more things. We're going to really hammer it. So if I drop some stuff on the ground, if I drop some of these, if I got this in my hand, switch back, quit. Okay. All right. Good progress. Everything is looking really, really clean today. I'm going to be right back again. Don't go anywhere. I'm just eating right now. We will resume in a moment. All right, I've finished eating, and I've finished screwing around with Streamlabs while I was eating, so I'm going to get back to it. Okay, so I should be able to just go boop like that, and actually I want to bring this down to here. Cool, that works. Nice. Let me do a little refresh of the project. I'm very close to getting a new build out. Current build playable, but has a memory leak. All right, I've finished eating, and I've finished screwing around with had some feedback there. Sorry about that. All right. Hopefully this build works. It's kind of slow. Frame rate is a touch choppy, but that's all right. It's probably because this NVIDIA thing I'm always running. My poor potato laptop can't handle it. Let's close down some of this crap. Do I need Discord open right now? I don't need that. I don't need that. I do need Steam. Yeah, let's get rid of Discord. Okay. So we're going to continue playing a little bit. I got to play test a bit more. You know what would be nice to confirm? Would be nice to confirm we're going to go west and south. That my old... Oh, I guess we don't have the key anymore. Okay, we don't have the key. That's fine. We don't have the key. Okay. That is okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to run through the rest of the tutorials. Okay. So we're going to get a fire going here. And oh. Okay. I don't know what the condition is to continue on this step, actually. There we go. Okay. It did work. So with the pot equipped, so we're going to equip the pot. Hold left click on the yellow markers to dig into the snow. Okay. All right, so let's do that. Fill the pot to at least 50%. Done. Place the pot near the fire to melt the snow. When it is placed correctly, it'll melt faster. Okay, it is melting on coals there. When melted, drink some water directly from the pot. If you have an empty bottle, fill it. Okay, so we're going to try to do this little tutorial here. Make sure this one's good. Okay, so we're going to drink some water. And we're going to fill our bottle. Right click. Okay, the steel pot can also be used for doing. Equip the pot now. Move away from the fire and fill the pot with snow. Hold left click on the yellow markers. Dig until the pot is full. Check the green bar on the tool icon. Now that the pot is full, Oh, that's interesting. The dump doesn't have a... okay, that's a little tweak we can make here. Interact actions. Dump snow. I'm sure that's what... No, it's single use. Dump snow. Yeah, this should probably have a wait for refire if capacity is less than 1. Interesting, it didn't trigger. Okay. You've completed the water management challenge. Keep track of your water resources and survive for long periods of time. Okay, that one's very easy. So that one's done. Let's do track and snare. Ice fishing is not available yet, and advanced building is not available. Okay. Let's do track and snare. All right, building a snare, it starts with collecting the right resources. Collect 5 wire. And then collect 5 dead branches. Head outside and select a branch and drop it. Okay. You can use woodworking skills to modify the branch. Click your hatchet and hold left click. Okay. Using your hand, set the branch stake vertical. Equip the hatchet and hold left click. Attach wire is missing a sound effect. It's crazy though, all the little tiny things. Missing a sound effect here and there. Okay. Oh, because that sound is driven from the animation. We need like a click sound here, that's all. Yeah, so we'll just do game S click 3. When you find a trail, I should say, find a trail. When you find a hair trail, start crafting a snare. Drop a branch safe directly on top of hair tracks. Hammer it into the ground and attach a wire. All right, so now we're looking for a trail. So I've tried to make this better. I'm wondering if the volumetric fog makes this harder. Let's see. Recenter. Tracking rabbits is really hard. I'm not at the point where I want to change that behavior because that is like a reflection of how difficult it is to track and snare animals. It is one of the easiest ways to get food in the game. So, all right, so that probably tells us we're near a trail. Apparently we're on a trail, but it's a trail that's not populated yet. Okay. So I'm just going to mark this location, I think. Let's place a marker. Perhaps we'll come back there in a minute. Okay, let's change this to look for hair tracks in the snow. When you find a trail, start crafting a snare. Okay. You need a direct instruction there. It definitely feels and looks like I'm doing nothing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how much I want to tune this. Probably needs to be tuned. I think the volumetric fog does make it look like it's snowing more heavily. Let's see. Oh yeah. We get a lot more haziness. I gotta get this patch pushed. As soon as I'm happy with everything and then there's no bugs, I'm pushing this. I think the problem right now is that the snow prints are probably getting snowed in. So we probably need to physically see a rabbit, which is gonna make it tricky. I gotta check the code and see, you know, under what circumstance do the prints, like what about my prints? Are my prints filling in right now? Let's just track back a little. Oh, yep. So my prints are, my footprints are filling in. So I need to add a step here. Hello, I wanted to ask how you made the trees in your game. Did you speed tree? Yeah, these are completely custom. They don't look the greatest, but they are completely custom for a very specific reason. I was telling another person on here a little while back. The reason they are the way they are is because every single branch is individually interactable. So if I chop off this branch right here, right, that falls to the ground. So, you know, as you know, a speed tree where the branches are connected by default, that would make that challenging. The other thing is when a tree gets sawed down. So if I just, let's just debranch this one. I will show you. I needed the trees to be quite linear. So there's a trade-off here. They don't look as good, right? Because trees aren't like perfectly stock straight like this. So that's actually something I think I could fix without changing the dynamics of the game too much. But I'll show you why they are the way they are. The game is heavily based on the idea that you should be able to interact with the tree fully. So if I want to saw this into firewood, that exact length of tree produces this much firewood. So that's why they're straight. I think what I need to do, and in fact, I've had a number of people comment on this, I think I need to add a few like crooks and little tiny angles in the tree to make it look less like a perfect cylinder. I think that would be a fairly easy change to make. I should pick up some of this. Firewood's kind of a freebie. You can pick up 3, and the idea is like you're holding them in your arms, but you have a carry limit. What I'm trying to do right now is track rabbits, and this is not going very well. This tutorial is the hardest. I could try to increase the rabbit density, but that's going to throw a lot of factors off. Right now, it's very much tuned to each chunk of the game world. Has a certain number of rabbits in there. It's just we happen to not be seeing any. The snowstorm is calming down, which means our tracks will stay in the snow better, which in theory means we'll be able to track a little better. So we're really close to the ski lodge. I thought we were further, but we're not really that far at all. Let's check out right here. So supposedly, oh look, there we go. See that? Isn't that cool? Can you see that on screen? We just picked up a trail. Oh, hello. I just scared it off. The scare radius is much closer on when you're standing. That's a bit close right now. All right, let's do this. We'll craft this. Do you use Substance Painter in your game? Whenever I use GLTF from Substance, try to bake a voxel GI. I used to. I used to use Substance Painter in Godot, yes. I don't anymore because I use UCU Paint in Blender, which I've totally gotten off of Substance Painter because there's lots of kits and brushes and assets and stuff that we can use. All right, we're going to remove this marker, delete that marker, and we're going to add, let's call this rabbit. Okay. Okay. Okay, we can try to stay in the eye line of this snare, maybe, just to watch it, if we can get away from the trail enough. Yeah, as per your out of index error, let me think. Whenever you use a GLTF from Substance Painter and try to bake a voxel. So baking a voxel GI, that's something that happens in Engine. Index out of bounds. Oh, light baking in Godot, I'm pretty sure you cannot use the second UV set. That's kind of a restriction, a pretty hard restriction if my memory serves. So that's something to be a little bit mindful of. Okay, there's my snare. You know what? Let's just run all the way over here. And we're just going to wait and see. Oh, there's his footprints. So is that where we scared him off? Yeah, that's where we scared him off. That's the... Okay. Now we just wait. We're literally just going to wait. I could make them return a little faster, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not using any GI in this game. I had too many issues with the various types of GI in Godot, if I'm being honest. I had lots of issues with light bleeding. Way too slow. Unrunnable on my laptop. Just really, I mean, my laptop is 2021. It's got a dedicated graphics card. I feel like I should be able to run the games that I play. So that's been my whole philosophy. Like if I can't run Bushcraft on my laptop, then I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm going to alienate a lot of players by doing that. It's been successful. I mean, the game's had over, I think, 2,500 players now in playtest. Where the hell is this rabbit? Did I scare him into oblivion? Or am I too close to the trail still? Something wrong with those billboards. If you look in the corner of the screen, right there, I can't point any further because my camera doesn't see my hand, but there's something wrong with my billboard shading. It's way too bright from certain angles. Yeah, what happened to that rabbit? My log would tell me if they're... You seem the only one YouTube is knowledgeable about proper importing of models. I am not the only one, but it is something that I do tend to talk about a lot. And eventually I want to like package a workflow, I think. Like everyone, the problem is that like everybody wants to do everything their own way, myself included. So sometimes people come along with different tools and strategies and whatever, and it's like people are like, oh, that's cool, but then don't actually use it. I think what I want to do is kind of put together a, like, here's my operating method for models. Maybe people can learn some stuff from it. You don't need to do everything, but like learn some stuff about instancing and stuff about UV channels and just how to do it better. don't know where this rabbit is. I hope he didn't despawn. That would suck. Oh, there he is. He just took his sweet time. Okay, they're kind of slow running around. And you can get real close when you're crouched. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what I need to do. The snowshoe hare, the run timer is too short. Let's increase that. That's a good way to kind of fix this with game design. When he is in the running state, running trail, step count is 4, go to idle. How the hell does that work? So once the position in the next position, trail increment. Oh. Okay, that just flips the two ends. Trail sample goes to trail increment. Next position is based on trail sample. If the step count is greater than 4, when does the step count get increased? When does step count get increased? Okay, as it goes to each sample position. So let's increase this to, I want to increase that to 8, just so they're running around a lot more. Because like right now, he's running, stopping, running, stopping, running, stopping. We gotta let him run for longer. Because right now it's just not really working. Wait, where are you going? Where the hell is that guy going? Okay, he just went all the way to the end of the trail. I'm gonna follow him. All right, so this is the trail. Oh, interesting. I'm not on the trail at all. I'm on a different trail, perhaps? All right, well, let's try again. I think I have enough wire. Yeah, I've been focused on actual modeling. Now I have to figure out how to make it work in Engine. Yeah, that's the fun part, in my opinion. I love the modeling part too. I'm not super good at it. I've been doing it for a long time. I sometimes lack the creativity, I suppose, you might say. But I do love the modeling part and the texturing part. I tend to be better though at the engine part. Oh, he coming back. Okay, all right, got him finally. Here he is. The last step is to skin, gut, and quarter the snowshoe hare. Use the belt knife. Okay, so let's skin. Let's extract some sinew. Let's gut. Let's remove the guts. And let's butcher. Pick up, berry. Okay. I mean, that's all right. Yeah, that's challenging. So letting them run further hopefully will help. Let's go ahead and save. And maybe we'll start a little fire here. We'll get this place stocked up too. That's one of the nice things you can do, is you can really stock up the ski lodge. Like that. Do I have 2 pots? No. More power to you. The engine stuff is a headache. Yes, working in an engine definitely can be a headache. I definitely relate to that. I would not be somebody who suggests that it's always easy to do. He should be doing like a hand rubbing animation, but he's not. Joe has got something funky going on there. Plenty of Unity on Unreal integration out there. I hope Godot gets more support from Adobe. I don't think they're going to. Adobe does not like the open source world, and I think they're not going to go out of their way to support it very well. Good thing is that GLTF is a standard, so if they decide to support the standard, then that's great. If not, they're just, you know, what's their incentive to support unpaid software, right? They don't really have one. So, I did love Substance Painter. I just loved all the materials and stuff, but I had to get off it. So, as of this moment, every bit of software that I use to make Bushcraft is open source. And, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons it looks crappy. I don't know. But I don't really feel that way. I feel like with the right artistic inputs, you can use Blender, you can use UCU Paint to make something look really good. I just don't have that creative input. I'm developing it, I think, slowly, painfully over time. What has happened to my texture here at the top of the tree? That's wacky. That's a new thing. Let's get some of these branches. And let's get a whole whack of firewood. It's good to get the sled. Once you get the sled, you can load the sled up with all this stuff, and then you don't have to run back and forth as much. Which reminds me, I need to test out the sled. All right, let's go sleep. The firewood will be there in the morning. All right, we're gonna be rested. We do need to drink some water, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna drink our daily water here. And eat one of these. Tis a new day. Beautiful outside here. That's another thing I want to do, that sound effect I'm not super duper pleased with. I was going for a wood dropping sound, like a thunk of wood. It didn't come out exactly as I had hoped. It looks more than good enough. I noticed that most of the time people are concerned with realistic gameplay and runs well. Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that, and I agree. I think that's why I'm focused on making sure that the player experience is good. I'm trying to make things really, really snappy. So far, that's good. I mean, right now, like I said, my laptop's a bit of a potato. I'm streaming. I've got an NVIDIA filter going around my head, and I'm still easily getting 60 frames on here, which is good. I'm just doing this extended playtest today to make sure there's no crashing bugs. I'm in release right now. I'm not actually launching from Godot. This is the release build, which is like, the more I do it, the more I realize how much of an important step it is to run your game in release. Because your players run your game in release. They don't run it inside Godot, inside a debugger. So like, you gotta make sure that experience, that player experience is the same. If it's not, then, you know, imagine if Splattercat opened my game and it crashed. Like, it's just a bad experience. And lots of gamers, not even just content creators, but gamers are just going to be like, nah, screw this, and close it, you know? I don't know if I entirely blame them. It's, you know, you kind of expect that the game will run. Okay, we've actually done all of the tutorials we can do right now. So I think the next thing to test is we'll do a little savey save here. Maybe we will, I'm going to quit the game and make sure the save file is all good. And I was getting a memory leak. Oh, and I've got another one. Okay. Let's see what is causing that. That one's going to be harder to track down. What we should do is take a look at all the places that the game uses instantiate. What the hell just happened? I should really push this to Git. This one is not too many big changes. This one is just the RSI stuff. Yeah. So let's say tested cached forest start. What was I just saying? Yeah, we got a bit of a memory leak here. Let's see. Where is instantiate? Oh, I'm spelling it wrong. That's why. This is 32 times. It's not actually that bad. So the only thing I'm curious about, are we ever instantiating a scene but not adding it to a scene? So that is getting, okay. Eventually it gets added to the scene. Nodes, all nodes get placed. Okay. Character remote, tool instance, scene instance. Ah, this is an interesting one. I think I need to stop doing this. I think this tool scene thing is going to be a problem. Oh wow, this happens in lots of places. Tool.scene instance, tool.scene instance, tool inventory.scene instance. Yeah, I know what's causing this. Whenever the tool is freed or whenever it's placed. So let's take a look at place tool. Where is that? Pickup tool. Yeah, so this does a new instantiation. I think Yeah, okay. I was trying to be clever with this. But I think I ended up shooting myself in the foot. Basically, you know, when you instantiate a scene, most people add it to the tree immediately. You don't actually need to. You can instantiate it. For instance, you can instantiate, in this case, it's like the tool that you hold in your hand. If I have a hatchet, I could instantiate it once at the beginning of the game. And then I can just add it to the tree, remove it from the tree, and that's much faster. However, free tool scene. That becomes a problem. Yeah, so, okay, let me finish my sentence here. Yes, the reason it's better, it's faster. So you could instantiate, add to tree, queue free. You can, that's the normal loop. You do it over and over and over. What I do in Bushcraft is I actually, is this not, where the hell is this? Tool, inventory item. What I do is when the game loads, I instantiate the scene once, and then as we add it to the player's hand, we add it to the tree, and then we just do remove tree, remove child, okay? So a lot of people don't know you can do that, but you can actually do remove child, right? That doesn't queue free it, so that doesn't release the resource. The problem I'm getting into is that you really need to be careful about, you know, when the game closes, that resource eventually has to be released. And I'm not doing that properly right now, sadly. So this is my own fault. I tried to be clever with some efficiency stuff, and it has backfired. But this should work now. Basically, what I'm doing is whenever you drop a tool or the game ends, then it actually releases that resource. But yeah, like I said, if I could go back in time, I think I would just do it the proper way, because I was trying to be a little bit clever, and to be honest, instantiating a single like 3D model is not a big deal. So I think if I don't screw around with tools or anything, I think the game will just close fine and there's not going to be any leak. That's going to be my guess. Yeah, no hanging on close, no obvious leaks. If I try to place a tool, so let's do that. If I grab, for instance, let's grab my pot and I throw my pot down here. So just store a reference to that instantiated scene and then add it back. Yeah, much faster. Instantiating a scene is adding memory. It's you know, creating an object on the heap, right, on your RAM. So you avoid that invocation if you just instantiate it once. Especially if it's like this, like the tool that this hatchet that's in my hand, that is always the same object. Where I get into trouble is when objects are placed on the ground, they have unique states, so they need to be instantiated again. Okay, I think I fixed it. Slowly but surely, I'm fixing all of these bugs. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend, this is a good example of premature optimization, I would say, you know. We don't need to be prematurely optimizing to this level. And if I had my time back, I would actually simplify my system. Let's also try this. If I throw my hatchet on the ground right there, and we quit the game. Yeah, okay. I think it's fixed. Instantiate can be an expensive operation for sure. On bigger packed scenes, it definitely can be a source of slowness. But the thing is, if you instantiate the way I'm doing it, it's like you're making the game faster, yes, but like you have a lot more. And maybe the reason this tool switching is so fast is because this is not like when I switch between these tools, this is not instantiating. This is just adding and removing children to the scene, right? You can do that all day. It's not even doing any visibility stuff. It's just straight up. Let's do that. Let's do one more test. Let's chuck this on the ground. Let's go to hands and let's quit. Set up a Patreon? Maybe. I've thought about it. Right now I've got like one more idea for maybe a Udemy course on how to do custom terrain systems, because that seems to be the thing people are most interested in. There's a lot of really good built-in tools in Godot to do custom terrain, and the thing is, people don't know enough about how to do multi-threading in Godot, and it can be done. You just got to know about semaphores and mutexes, basically. And the idea of like a thread-safe queue is not something that's... People who come from the C# world definitely know what a thread-safe queue is. It's something that's very, very common. Okay, so plan. Yeah, I have a couple Udemy courses. I'm getting better at them. The first one I did was good, but the videos were way too long. It was like 40-minute videos. So my next one, I'm planning on getting the videos down to like 10, 15-minute chunks so people can do it in pieces. Okay, let's do a... Let's do a survival run. We got lots of food, which is pretty sweet. Water, we got a couple empty bottles. We could take a... I'm just wondering, is that... Did those water bottles repopulate? Let me check something. There may be a way to, like, cheese getting, you know, water bottles. No? Okay. That's still there. So that's fine. Let's actually drink a water. Let's drink one. We'll take one. I've got all my tools I need. Let's take a whole bunch of cordage because we might need some more. And let's do a survival run. I want to do a survival run, make sure that's all good. So let's start our survival run. Maybe we'll do it on intermediate because I haven't tested out the difficulty levels in a little while. All right, so let's make sure, do we actually have everything? We've got a hatchet. Okay, I can't run, but I can actually use my hatchet and walk around, which is kind of funny. Look for Michael Jared. Really? You can't find that on Udemy? Let me see. Oh. Michael Burt is my total name. Is my real name. Yeah, look for Michael Burt. So I've just got one for a city builder game right now. It didn't go exactly the way I wanted to. It's like too much content. There's like 15 hours of content. And I think for some people, they fall one of two camps. One, it's too much content and it's not short enough videos. And some people, you know, I get some people who take the course say, I didn't go into enough detail. So it's very difficult to, you know, find that balance. But I think I'm starting to do a little better. Actually, maybe what we can do is we can maybe reuse our camp from last time. I think that's a good idea. There's a trail of tracks there. Oh, it's always so good finding tracks that wanna... Okay, that's him running away. Let's see. No, he's not outside the hunting radius anyways. Oh, you found it? Oh, thank you. I try my best. I am still working on my communication style. I am a teacher by trade, actually. I teach college students computer science and engineering technology, game programming. That's basically what I do. But Udemy is different, right? It's a different format. People expect a certain thing as well. Yeah, definitely a good idea to come out here and start from this camp, I think. This is a good test, too, that all the world persisted. Everything is exactly in the state we left it, 2 days ago. Which is cool. Let's get some... You know what we'll do? We'll turn this one into firewood. We'll turn that one into firewood. And... Oh, yeah, we can just work on improving this bad boy. I'm debating tearing it down. Which is kind of funny, but that's fine. We can bundle a second one there. Do we get our moss back? We do. Cool, okay, that works. I haven't tested that in a long time. I didn't know if that actually would work. But if you pick up a bough that has moss on it, you do get it back, which is sweet. And in fact, we'll redo this whole thing. Why not? Okay. So what I want to do is we're going to do a bigger build here. We're going to pick that up. We're going to do a big square, I think. Yeah. This will be good. All right, this is a good test. Everything, the game world is still chugging along pretty happily. Oh, that didn't work. We got to pick this up first, I think. There we go. The vertical building, I'm so, like, there was a player suggested feature where they were like, can we just have it so we can stick logs in the ground vertically? And I was like, yeah, we'll just have that use cordage. Why not? And then I added that. And now we can do shit like this, which is awesome. Okay, we need some more. Let's get a fire going. We're gonna start freezing our asses off out here. I'm in my 3rd semester of comp sci, so props to you. Oh yeah, you'll get there. You're gonna do great. It's tired of the 3D grid systems. Yeah, I hear you. That was my core thing with this game. I wanted it. Here was my idea. If I'm going to make players grind this hard for building resources, I was like, all right, you're going to be able to do whatever you want. Whatever you want to do with this building stuff, you can just do it. There's no restrictions. I've done a 2-layer build so far. I need to show more players how to do that, and maybe one of these days, if I get time in a playtest, I'll try to clip it. And show what like a multi-layered build looks like. It is cool. You basically can build a giant house. I have some more ideas too. I want to build prefabs where you can put together like a wall, and then you can place that wall on the mesh on the shelter. But it's still going to be free form building is what I'm calling this. So you just place everything wherever you want it. And like, yeah, it's a little tedious and it requires a little bit more accuracy, but I feel like it's a lot of creative freedom. That's how I look at it. Cool. All right, so we got a roof. I don't think we have any way to get to this roof, so I'm gonna actually chop down one more here. Oh, my hatchet is breaking. I've made a classic rookie mistake in the game. The the sharpness on my hatchet is all the way down, so that's why it's starting to break. Good idea to show the building first on the Steam page. Yeah, maybe maybe I should. I can't remember what GIF is at the top. Can't remember. But I gotta find a better way of showcasing the building. Yeah, it's. I feel like it's quite a unique feature of the game. So this is turning out to be a cozy evening. But yeah, I made a classic rookie move, and that was letting my hatchet get blunt. There are more hatchets at the ski lodge, but it can mess up your survival run, definitely. We're going to let this go to full. My knife is doing good. Check out the sunset. I'm curious how the fog is doing. I added some volumetric fog to the game. It doesn't seem to have messed things up too much. At nighttime as well, the fog should die down. Okay, back to this. Let's saw this bad boy down. When I like get out of my dev head, I do like playing this game, which I'm happy about. It would be concerning if I didn't like to play it. But I find myself wanting to play it. I've just been spending so much effort trying to make it a smoother experience, let's say. That sometimes you put in all that effort to do that, and then it's like you kind of forget what's fun about it in that process. Let's fill a bottle, actually, while we're here. I haven't released a successful game, but as a consumer, but I would be intrigued when clicking on the page if building was highlighted for sure. Yeah, I will take that feedback to heart. The problem is trying to figure out how to represent that, because maybe it's just finding the right image that shows the building, like getting up at the right angle and seeing the structure. A GIF would be good, and you know what, maybe the GIF I have of building is too basic. It shows the lean-to, but that's not really, the lean-to is such a basic part of this. Like, we can basically put a roof on here, right? I actually don't like how that one fell. I just found a bug. Interesting. I just found it's not we can overcome it. Okay. A couple bugs there. There's a bug with the bundling system. I'll make a note of that, but it'll be okay. Chill survival games are such a fun time. I'll never get bored of chopping trees. Yeah, it's weird. It's like you think you would, but it's totally that thing in games where it's like you kind of enjoy doing the work, which sounds ridiculous, but I find it to be true. Maybe that says a lot about me as a person, but I like the fact that in my game you got to put in a little bit of effort. And I get it. I've had feedback from people in the survival subreddit that they're just like, I don't know how anybody could play this game. This just seems like so frustrating to me. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. And it's not going to be for everyone. It ain't that kind of game. It's not going to have a lot of broad mass appeal. But I think some people could like it. I just got to be able to execute on it. I have to be able to make sure it's pretty well bug free, do all the basic stuff really well, and then we'll go from there. How's me fire doing? Let's drink some more water. And overall, the game will be chill. There's going to be a couple threats that come into it with bears and moose and wolves, potentially. Wolves are kind of a stretch goal. But I've got the AI for the moose pretty much already written, which is cool. Let's get some more wood from this guy. And we'll go to sleep here soon. I think we're doing pretty good on surviving. We could potentially try to build this guy out a little more. We can add a little structure over here. We got a little bit of extra wood here. We've got a nice cache built up. Set vertical, set upright. And the reason you can set horizontally is because you can actually dig into the snow and make some shelters into the snow. But yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe I'll chop one more tree before I go to bed. Actually, we'll sit next to our fire because we're starting to freeze. We gotta eat something. Oh, you know what I can do? Let's drink this water. We're good on water right now, actually. I feel bad wasting it, but let's cook some hare meat. Get that going while we sharpen our knife. And the game does have a feature where you can just like lock your action. You press G and it just like holds your action, so then you don't have to actually hold any buttons or press anything. Alright, so that's sharp. This guy we can sharpen slightly. Very slightly. We're gonna eat some hare meat. Alright, I think I can chop down a tree while that's cooking. Maybe. Is there a progression system? Is there a progression system in the game, like long-term goals? Do you get better resources you couldn't? So yeah, the progression system right now is there is an event system. So in the tutorial, in the demo game right now, there's only 5 events. But as different events happen, like for instance, on day 5, you get the truck keys. If you talk to Joe on day 5, you will get you'll get to drive the truck around for the rest of the demo, which I think is pretty sweet. The other progression system is the skill tree. So as you get points in survival mode, so we're in survival mode right now actually, then you can upgrade your tools, you can get access to new gear. So the fishing rod is what I want to get next. And yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is really, really good. The sled is really good. Upgraded backpack space is a simple one, but is like super, super overpowered. The compass is just fun. The compass is like fun to use in the game. So it's been good. It's been fun developing all these little tools and having that be a thing. That reminds me, there's one bug I gotta fix before I forget. Because I don't want to forget it. I thought, okay, so inventory. What is this? Yeah, this guy. Inventory quantity. This is a little more complicated. Let's see. Let's go up to our inventory. Bundles. What's a bundle? Bundle inventory type. Okay. I think I can fix this pretty easily. I'm going to be doing Next Fest in October. Just gives a bit of a longer runway on the demo, and then I'm just going to run right into early access after that. That's the plan. Inventory item. I'm going to be right back. Okay, I am back. Thanks for the help. Good luck with everything. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm going to go pump out some schoolwork. Good luck with it. Yeah. Welcome to come back anytime. Okay, so why I screwed this up. This needs to also know what the inventory type is. So my data is a little disjointed here. If that type is this and bundle quantity is greater than 0, then have bundle is true. And we can only say that this is invisible and not have bundle. Okay. We will do that. And actually, this is kind of silly. We'll do, yeah, that's okay. All right, we'll test that out after. Oh, I did that mid chop. Let's check on our food is probably, yeah, overcooked. Let's cook another one. The cooked ones are lighter, so there's always an encouragement for people to always be cooking when you can. So let's do some logs. We're gonna build another extension on our little shack here. Oh, that didn't give me as much wood. I thought that was a tall tree. That was just a small tree. Okay. Let's throw some more of this on here. I am playing on intermediate now, and I do feel that a little bit more with the temperature hitting me a bit harder. We can stoke the fire. Let's grab this too. Let's grab this and drink some water and eat some. Actually, we don't need to eat anything right now. What we will do is sleep. Slept warm, 20 HP restored. That's a good one. This is good. This run has been going really well, actually. Nothing too game breaking here. There's a little bit of clipping through the mesh. I gotta play around with stencil buffers on my to-do list, let's say. We got 4 hours to go. Maybe let's see if we can scout out a trail around here. They don't always generate, so there's not always, like if we have food and we do have a decent amount of food, we don't have any food rations. Yeah, so that's kind of my two options right now. I can either scope out some more trails, potentially, or I could keep working on my shelter. Our energy and all that stuff is really good, so I'm actually thinking we're just gonna... Let's see, what can we do? Yeah, let's run around for a bit. We've got a nice marker there, so it's hard to lose that spot. And maybe we'll spot a rabbit real soon here. I'm curious generally how hard it is to spot them. Creeping through the forest. Yeah, we found a trail. Sweet. That wasn't that hard. This is the end of it. Oh, hello. The rabbits are real dumb. When you're crouched, you can get real close. That was a recent change I made. That is the end of the trail. Hello. Okay, we're gonna track them this way, I guess. If you track the trail, you can find out where the hotspot is, which is useful. Maybe he like just spawned in like a couple hours ago. It's kind of interesting too that your own tracks muddy up the trail. This trail is short. He doesn't have very far to go on this one. Oh yeah, I gotta increase that run distance. That run distance is way too short. We'll make that 8 segments. There we go. So trail is tracked. So we can pretty much just drop this on the trail now. This is a short little trail, and we know where the hotspot is. And this guy is not very intelligent. Okay. All right. Oh, I scared him off. That's all right. He'll come back. We'll check that in a bit. We still have some raw. That stuff weighs more. The cooked stuff is really light. But we got lots of room. Let's eat some, I guess. I'm realizing I think that eating sound effect is way too quiet. Yeah, that volume is... Let's just play eat. Huh. Why is that so low? Oh, that's the pitch. The volume is 1. Okay. All right. Oh, let's try to do the thing. There's a way you can, like, get stuck under. I want to try to pop myself under the terrain, because that is something that can happen. Oh, wow, it really fights you. It's kind of what I want to happen. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's go check on our slip. Oh yeah, he in there. He in there. A little gruesome. Not too bad. Oh, now I'm overweight. We definitely don't want these guts. Let's just bury these. Bury. Take that back. Actually, we can leave this here. We can leave that there. For this run anyways, is fine. It's just gotta mark it so we can get it later. Okay, let's mark this as rabbit 2. I don't think rabbit 1 is any use to us anymore. Might be. Oh, that's a fun bug. Why is that appearing there? It doesn't know it's outside the range. Okay. You know what? We're leaving that in. That's fine. All right, so we can return to the ski lodge. Am I going to grab anything from camp is the question. Where's my camp? Oh, here. We could maybe fill a bottle. Oh, not really. It puts us over. Okay. I might take some wood with me just to bring back to the ski lodge. Oh, we're overweight again. Why are we overweight? It's not that. It's probably, oh. We might just have to put up with being overweight for a minute. No, this is annoying. Let's bundle that. And let's bundle that. And that. Get rid of that weight. Nine times 0.4. So it's these guys. This is like 4 kilograms of meat. Yeah, it's my own fault. That's fine. We can auto run. Just make sure we're going the right way. Oh, which we aren't. We got to go basically perfectly west. I actually think the volumetric fog is really good. I think it really sells the snowstorm. Cold storm. Day 4. We make it to day 5, we get a truck, which is pretty sweet. This is slow going. I guess we're almost there. Okay, let's dump some of this. I think we can throw some on this table. Doop. Okay, so that puts us in good weight here. We'll just cook a bunch, I think. Oh, lots of firewood. Maybe what we'll do is, there's a bug with this right now, but let's see. We do that, and then we do that. Okay. Yeah, so we got a skill point, and now we can get the fishing rod. All right, sweet. So we could go fishing now if we wanted to. Let's just take a look. Yeah, that works. Hell yeah. Okay. Nice. I really want to do the fishing tutorial. Would be good. Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's something buggy happening there. But that's all right. Cat is licking my speakers. Did I update the snowfall effect? Oh, hey, Brody. It's looking cleaner. Yeah, I added volumetric fog, which you can't see it right now. But let's see. It is kind of snowy. Let's see if it kicks in. It's gradual, so it like if you're in the middle of a snowstorm, you'll see it. Right now, it's probably very subtle, but I'll turn it off. So if we go, yeah, so it's like really, everything's really like saturated, but with the volumetric fog, it kind of tones it down a bit. But everything in the foreground still looks good. The background gets kind of hazy. So yeah, it's a good little effect, I think. Notice the atmosphere. Nice. Thank you. I'm doing a big playtest today because I fixed a whole bunch of crap and the game should be more stable now. And yeah, I'm going to push this build out tonight. I just wanted to do like a full playtest to make sure that nobody who receives a demo key is going to be playing something that's broken. I forget what I was going to do. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's weird. That might be a bit of a bug. I did actually ring the bell. So why does it still say that? Oh, okay. If you press escape versus close, I don't think that notification goes away. Interesting. I should fix that. Upgrade skill tree. Da, da, da. So right now, I think it's when I press close that it actually registers that. Yeah. As soon as it opens, I should register upgrade done. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll fix that. Bell. We can do that here. All right, I'm going to do another save test, make sure saving is still good, and hopefully no more memory leaks. Oh, I found another one. I keep finding them. What do I got now? Let's see. Oh no, I gotta go do this tool. What is it? Inventory. Yeah, there's some wackiness here, but I don't know if I'm gonna lose too much sleep over this part. Okay. Okay, that's all behaving super well. I don't know why that happened last time. I have a feeling it has to do with, like, if this is on the ground and I don't know. So when I'm picking that up, interesting. That shouldn't be a problem. Because right now, if I look at my remote, oh, I'm not in debug. I can't. All right, whatever. It's fine. What do you want, Joe? Is it day 5 yet? Guess I should talk to you that. The thing is, if you make a fire for Joe early, then you're in a better position to get the truck keys later, which is kind of interesting. Because on day 5, as soon as you talk to him, you will get said truck keys. Okay, so now we've made a fire. What are you saying now? Good job. All right. Cool. There is not much to do on this day currently. We could drink some water, I guess. These two always replenish, so it's kind of... I actually found it really easy to get to day 5 this time. And I don't know how I feel about that. There should be some challenge in getting to day 5. I guess it's all about how the run goes. Let's throw on some more wood. And then go to sleep. 9 a.m. at night. Sleep on the couch. There we go. Three in the morning. Good time to wake up. Oh, I guess we will do the ice fishing, but maybe I will wait until I get the keys. All right, I don't know what to do. I guess I can harvest some more stuff for here. Oops, that's the wrong pile. Let's just stockpile this. Drop all these. I think those things stack forever. I don't think they... Do they have any physical... I don't think they have any physical collision height. Let's chop down this bad boy here. Oh, we have a bunch of moss too. I don't know what happens if I try to add this to this bundle. No, it doesn't like that. Bundle limit is 50. I can't even drag that. Yeah, there's something weird about that. Ooh, and I really need to test multiplayer. That's going to be on my agenda. I'm going to do that tomorrow, maybe. Today was just making sure a run up to day 5 is all good. And then I'm going to get this build out there. Let's get some more firewood, I guess. Oh, that's neat. I guess it can get stuck. There are technically walls on here. I thought there were walls. Maybe not. Maybe I need to add some. Could probably just sleep again, actually. I'm trying to remember if the game prevents you from doing that, like, for any reason. Let's eat a ration, I guess. Because we're just waiting around. Now the question is, how long does it make you sleep? So it's 7. It should do 6, so it should bring us right to 2, pretty much. Yeah, cool. So you can skip forward time if you want. We should cook those as well. Maybe we'll do that in a bit since we're about to get the keys. All right, talk to me. Me old truck has gotten a lot of use over the years, but I don't do too much with it anymore. I mostly hang out here at the lodge, so it's all yours. Really? Thanks. Don't lose it, he says. I don't have any spares. Funny enough, there is spares. You just got to find one in a log cabin, which is kind of funny. So that's saved. What I want to do is I want to test. I want to see if that leak happens again, because I don't currently know. Oh, it didn't happen that time. So, like, why it happened before? No idea. All right, let's see. We still got our key. Sweet. Now we can drive. We got all of our events are done. We can drive here. No worries. And we want to go fishing, so we should go up this way. I made the trees a little less punishing, I think. You still lose speed. I mean, the truck doesn't go that fast, so... I did have a few runs where the truck vanished on reload. Yes, the truck will not stay with you currently. It always respawns at the ski lodge. I'm working on it. Something to think about. I need to figure out how it's going to work with multiplayer, so that's kind of another wrinkle. Oh, shit, I was supposed to get the fishing rod. Another thing I want to do eventually is that the truck is going to give you storage space. So just like the sled, you should be able to throw stuff in the pan. You can't right now. I got to do a little bit of programming to make that happen. But these are all hopefully, like, you know, if anyone gets to this point, they've already played the game for like 3 hours, so I would call that a success. But my plan is, my plan is once I get a little bit of a break here and the demo is launched, I'm going to start tuning up all these little things. I suspect most players are going to play it in single player anyways. I've only had one person so far who was keen on it in multiplayer. Or a couple people. Alright, so I need the actual... I have too much stuff on me currently. I gotta get rid of some stuff. Like, I can't have this pot. And then maybe I can have enough room for the other stuff. Should be able to turn on the heater too. Ooh, that's a good idea. So what you get right now for free in the truck is once you jump inside, you're pretty much fully covered, which is cool. But yeah, there should be a little button right there for turning on the heater. That's a good idea. The question is, what's the cost of that? So right now there's no like gas. So I mean, it's like anything in this game. The problem is if you give freebies, like I don't want to deter people from actually playing the game. I guess you could sit in the truck to warm up, but like, what's prevent you from staying there forever? You know? People are probably going to invent all kinds of weird ways of doing stuff inside the truck. Oh my god, I forgot what I was doing. I meant to start the ice fishing tutorial. I gotta go back again. Yeah, but heater's a good idea. My feeling is like I can put a couple buttons on the dash over here. I kind of forget where the ski lodge is. I think it's this way. This is just a vague feeling I have. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, no, that's just a cabin. One thing that was interesting, Brody, that I discovered today is that by random happenstance, some cabins you will find a truck key in, and I've decided to leave that in the game. So the way the cabins work is that the inventory items that are spawned here on the tables are random. It's just randomized based on the things you currently don't have. So I don't currently have any bait, so I could pick up this bait, and now I have... where the hell did that go? Oh, I might have a bug. Well, you're supposed to have bait. Curious, what did I do there? Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Yeah, the image probably needs to be updated for bait. Honk. Yes. Okay, I need a heater and I need to add a... okay. I will do that. That's pretty easy. The other thing I added is that you can start and finish a survival run from any of these public cabins. So... the game's getting pretty wacky with all the mechanics, but I don't mind it. All right, we got to go south. Oh, you know what I can do? I can remap the jump key, spacebar, to be honk when you're in the truck, because that's not currently used. Kind of nice safety net if you lose the key, yeah. And, you know, if anyone's going to figure it out, it's going to be gamers. Oh, hey, did you know if you go to a public use cabin, you can find the truck key just for free? And then the weird thing is going to be like, in multiplayer, if someone else finds the truck key in a cabin, technically they could give that to the main person's lobby, and then the main person has access to the truck. Anyways, it's not a big deal. I don't really care if people gain access to the truck in a way that I didn't intend. That's fine. Alright, but we need to add a honking sound effect. I think spacebar, because out here spacebar is jump, but in here space does nothing. So space is going to be honk. Let's start the ice fishing tutorial. I haven't done this one proper. We do have 5 bait. We do have... oh, it says you got to move these to your quick slots. That's why it's complaining. There we go. So I haven't technically done this one. I should follow the tutorial. So it says equip the auger. Okay. The hard part about ice fishing is finding good lakes to fish in. At Frost Lake, there's nice fishing due northwest of the ski lodge. Head there now. There was a really interesting thing that happened totally by happenstance. The window, there's actually a little glass shader on this guy. And what that little rim is around the edge, on some cars you kind of have that anyways. That is, I believe, a shadow being cast on the semi-transparent material. Why the hell did I just drove directly into the trees? Alright, so I don't think it cares where you go as long as you find a spot to fish in. I don't think the tutorial cares specifically where. I'm curious if the condition is going to match correctly. Ooh, oh my goodness. Hello. Alright. Fish are most active around 9 in the morning and 7 p.m. at night. Okay. Equip your auger and slowly head out on the ice. Listen for cracks. Oh, I fell in. Okay, I guess I'm dead. This is a soft lock, I'm just realizing. That is a soft lock. You have to skip the tutorial to get out of it. And why are we still not dying? Okay. I think our health is finally going down, but slowly. Slowly reducing. There's nothing we can do. We don't have any, we can bob up and down if we want. Okay, we died. Alright. Oh shit, where's this gonna put us back? I didn't save. Okay, I saved at least day 5. Alright. But I didn't get the fishing rod. That's fine. Another benefit of respawning the truck at the lodge is that you can't lose it. Like, it'll be always there when you come back. So that's why I've been debating on that mechanic. I have no idea what would happen in multiplayer. I think what will happen in multiplayer right now is that the other person won't see the truck, but you'll just be floating around while you're crouching. Which would be something very funny to test. And actually, I was going to start the tutorial. I keep forgetting. Let's dump the pot. We don't need that. And let's try this again. Ice fishing. I should hide the advanced building until I'm ready to do that. I need some bait. Okay, okay. Gotta get these in my quick slots. Hello, Sinisperry. Did I say that correctly? Equip the auger. Yeah. Okay, head there now. So now we're gonna drive out again. Yeah, so that's kind of a soft lock situation. Should I prevent people from falling in the ice in the tutorial? I think what I need to do... Fall in. Let's find fall in. Yeah. Okay. I think I need to end the tutorial at this point if you fall in. So let's just take a look. Can I ask a question about how you handle trees in your game? That is the third person today who has asked me. If they fall in the ice, they should fail inside the tutorial. Yeah, I agree. The soft lock comes because the tutorial locks your stats. You fall on the ice and then you can't die. So I want them to fall on the ice and die, basically. I've been trying to figure out how to switch from multi-mesh to real nodes based on proximity, and I have no idea how to do it efficiently. How many trees are we talking here? How many, how many are we talking? Because if it's anything less than 1,000, just use nodes. If it's more than 1,000, then you need to consider rendering server or multi-mesh, I would say. And it really depends on how many triangles your trees have and if you're using manual LOD. Manual LOD is extremely important in Godot. I got some good confirmation on this recently because Road to Vostok, guess what, uses manual LOD because Godot's auto LOD is not good. It's not aggressive enough. Your triangle count is gonna blow up real fast if you just try to throw a bunch of speed tree into Godot and see what happens. All right, what the heck am I doing here? I need to like finish the tutorial, basically. I want to test this again. Yeah, I think I can just do that. Or I can canceling the tutorial actually is what I want to do. So let's go to interact. Let's find quest cancel or quest. Yeah. Cancel. Set tutorial enabled false. Yeah, we want to cancel. I don't want the tutorial to finish and say, congratulations, you finished the ice fishing, you died. Hundreds of thousands. Yeah. So Bushcraft uses hundreds of thousands, right? So basically I've got 3 LODs. The closest LOD is full resolution, and that's only in a radius around the player that you get full resolution, branches, logs, whatever. Second LOD, second layer out is billboards that are double quads, right? They 2 quads that I can't do it with my hands. They intersect at 90 degrees, kind of like this, I guess. And then the third layer out is a multi-mesh chunking system. So every 100 by 100 meters is a chunk that loads in. And that is hands down the most efficient way to do it. You want to throw in a background thread to do the parsing of your chunks in the background. Otherwise, your process loop is going to get chewed up in no time and you're going to start stuttering real bad. That is the way to do it. Vostok didn't. They just used nodes, but they're using a fixed map, and they don't have more than 1,000 trees on there, right? So there's a big difference. You need really aggressive LOD. You need to do like dithered fade out in your shader, and you also need to do visibility ranges. So when you're outside of visibility range, that culls it from the renderer. So billboards are with the rendering server. I mean, all of it's rendering server. I was telling someone earlier, the whole thing is rendering server in my implementation, right? So the plants that are on the ground, the clusters of plants, the trees that are visible, the multi-meshes that make up the branches. I'm doing everything with rendering server. It's just so much more lightweight. And when you have 150,000 trees, that really matters. Okay, so I need to say if game environment, game time, tutorial enabled, then we cancel tutorial if it's enabled. All right, so that will avoid the soft lock there, I think. And this time I'll try not to go too far. Take my own advice. Oh, the hole is still there in the ice. That's interesting. The hole where I fell in. I thought that was supposed to reset between rounds. That's some interesting world persistence I didn't expect. All right, we're gonna crouch so we don't fall in. Crouching makes it safer. It's always nerve-wracking. All right, we're good. We'll do a hole here. All right, so equip the fishing rod, hold tab, and attach bait. Cool. I don't think I've tested any of this. This all just happens to be working. Now, we're not fishing at the right time, so we might have to use a few. Point the fishing rod at the ice hole and hold left click. The panel in the bottom right will show you the likelihood of catching a fish. I just realized there's something I think that is spammable about this. It might be possible that every time you re-engage this, I think it recalculates the RNG. But, okay, never mind. That's not a problem because you need to wait anyways. Even if the RNG recalculates each time, you have to wait to see if there's a bite. Yeah, okay, so never mind. That's not a problem. It's almost like I thought about this like a year ago. One last thing, if it's not a problem, how do you do the switching between LODs? No, definitely do not loop over every tree. So, I'm going to show you, okay? So, like I said to the other guy, eventually I want to do a video series on like terrain and forests and stuff because it is a bit of hidden knowledge, and I had to learn a lot of this just by basically my own experience, but also learning the engine. Okay, so what you use is you use the instance geometry visibility range, and you set the distance where it's visible and the distance where it cuts out. Now, do not use the visibility range self. Okay, what visibility range self does is it sets the alpha and it puts your tree meshes into the transparent pipeline. That is a huge deal. What that means is if your tree is in alpha scissor and you've got a threshold and your alpha scissor transparency is looking pretty good, what that means is your meshes for your tree are in the opaque pipeline. They render front to back, not back to front, and they go in with all of your other solid meshes, so you get all kinds of good stuff like Godot's depth prepass, which calls things from the scene that are, behind other things. So you get lots and lots of good things by using alpha scissor. It's in the opaque pass. It'll render super fast, like 3 milliseconds for 100,000 trees would be good or normal. If you use visibility range self, it's going to put it into the transparent pipeline, which means it has to render back to front. It renders in the second pass. You don't get depth pre-pass. It renders it every single time. So, but the thing is, this would do a hard cutoff, all right? This using visibility range disabled, fade disabled, means your visibility range is just like your tree is visible for 15 meters and then boom, it's a hard cutoff. So the second part of this is you need a tree shader. If you look at your branch shader I have in my case, you need a dither solution, okay? So this is just a distance fade dither, and this is actually the standard Material 3D just converted to a shader, right? And this will dither out your tree as it goes to that fade distance until finally it's fully dithered out, and then it pops out. You don't have to loop over your 200,000 instances. That would blow up your CPU, right? When you use the pipeline this way, you are already using Godot's built-in looping on all of the geometry visual instances. So, like I said, I gotta do a debrief on this because I keep getting questions about it. And this right now is black magic. There's like 5 people, and I'm not trying to be arrogant. There's like 5 people who know about this. There is a Godot issue currently that talks about everything I just said is true. One of the big problems is where does, what origin is used in the visibility range, okay? The visibility range is used based on the center of the AABB. but the AABB is going to be halfway up your tree, right? So if you got a 20-foot tree, it's going to be 10 feet in the air, whereas the dither fade is going to be the distance to the camera, to whatever pixels you're rendering in the fragment shader. So this is a big problem because it means that the distance that you're trying to dither your tree out is totally different from the visibility fade. And if you want the efficiency of the Godot engine, you have to use the visibility fade. So one very intelligent person, I will find this, GitHub, visibility fade, custom AABB Godot issues. I'll show you, this will come up right away. Right here, boom. So some genius on the internet figured out the workaround here is to use, okay, it says you can use visibility parent. That's not going to work for trees, but you can set a custom AABB. So here, let me draw something for you in Paint. And this will be mind-blowing, I'm sure. But here's your tree, right? This is a big old tree. And let's draw a trunk. Doop. So normally your AABB looks like this, right? And the center of that AABB is here. The problem with that is that the distance from this to the camera is basically not correct, right? The distance from the center, where in reality you're seeing pixels down here. So your camera is over here. So this is no good. So what you do instead of this is you actually double the AABB and put it underground. So your AABB has now doubled in size to set a custom AABB, and it puts the center, the origin fade distance is here. So when your little player character is walking around and you're comparing distances, you can compare the XYZ like, or the XZ like that, right? So that'll be much better than comparing to here. And what it means is that this visibility fade will be correct based on this origin point here, which is what you want. Because you are a person on the ground, you're seeing this part of the tree. So this is much more correct. And you can tune it. It doesn't need to be exactly here. You could bring this up a little, and then the origin point would be here. But all that to be said, if you do this along with visibility fade, along with alpha dither, then it'll be, this you can do like 200,000 trees, high fidelity, 4K textures in like 2 milliseconds on the GPU. That was a big rant. So I was trying to fish. I think I should catch one now. Medium? Really? Nothing? Come on. We try again. I think, yeah. If you really know the timing of how this probably where I'm going to call it. I've been streaming for 4 hours today. Holy crap. Good playtest, I think. I think I'm pretty happy to push out this build. It has a couple little things, but it's very stable. I was able to play through to day 5, so that was my main goal. Anyways, if you came to the stream, thanks for coming by. I'm going to try to start streaming more regularly as the demo is going to be coming out soon. But otherwise, yeah, I'll see y'all some other time.